Okay, everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 74. We're in the submissions tier submission videos. We're in the middle of a Subway one. What I want to do is I actually want to watch why Subway has declined. This is a fresh video from only 7 months ago. So let's see why Subway has declined, and then we'll go from there.
I think that they were opening too many locations. It
Yep.
turns out that 27,000 of them across the United States may have been a little much. As we all learned from Jurassic Park, just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean that you should do it.
And again, they didn't limit anyone who came in with money. They would just sell a franchise. So to them, it's like, oh, free money. But what happens is oversaturation. Now they're all over the place. People get tired of it. I don't want to see a Subway every block, right? It's not even that special. The food isn't that special. So why do you want to see a Subway on every block? And I think a lot of the cases also what happened, like I mentioned, immigrants would come in, buy the business, hire people, and just let it run itself. But basically what happens then is standards lapse because you're not really actively managing the business you own. And that's what would happen. Like I told you this story. When I lived in Connecticut, Subway started doing breakfasts, okay? And I wanted to get one for my show DSPReacts at the time. They had signs on the front of the Subway that said, get breakfast here. So I went there one day, and they said, we don't have the breakfast. I said, what do you mean? They said, we don't have it. You'll have to come back another time. Okay, I came back 2 weeks later. They said, we don't have the breakfast. And that time I asked. I said, listen, I've come here twice for it. You have the sign on the front that says you have it. Why don't you have it? And the worker kind of said what they weren't supposed to say. They said, well, the owner doesn't really feel like the breakfast will sell. So even though we're supposed to have it and we're required to have the sign, they never order the ingredients for it. So we don't have it. We can't do breakfast. We don't have eggs. We don't have anything. So we just do lunch, dinner. That's it. And I was like, well, that's false advertising. You say you have it on the front and you don't, right? So basically I filed a complaint. I went to the website and I put a complaint in. And I said, I don't understand why you're saying you have breakfast when you don't. I went there twice. They don't have it. This is ridiculous. So I received an angry voicemail from a woman who sounded like she was an older woman with an insanely heavy accent. Okay? And in the voicemail on my phone, it was something to this effect. How dare you submit a complaint? I've never had a complaint against my store before. Who are you to complain about this? It's my store, not yours. But it was all in a very heavy, like, Middle Eastern accent. Okay? Literally, that's what I got on my phone. I was like, what? I'm the customer. You don't have something you're supposed to have. I complained, and you called me to yell at me? And that's what I mean. Like, that's how Subway basically is they're like absentee owned. So you might go to one Subway, and the quality is good. And you go to another Subway, they're out of half the bread, they're out of half the ingredients, they're out of everything. They don't care, you know? And that's a problem. When you overexpand, that's exactly what's going to happen to your business. There's no consistency of standards.
There are Subway restaurants out there competing with other Subway restaurants. Countless examples where one location is taking sales away from a different location because they're all just so close to each other.
Yep.
I think it's interesting that the original Subway, that first building named after Pete, wasn't even doing very well. Fred DeLuca has said that he opened the second one to create the image of success. You know, if you're growing and opening new restaurants, people get familiar with the name and figure it must be good because people are going there. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think he has kept that mentality toward the brand as he continued to expand it to ridiculous levels in the following decades. When someone says that Subway is the biggest fast food restaurant in the country, I think that could be a little deceptive. They do have more locations, but that doesn't mean that more people are eating there.
Right.
When you measure by system-wide sales, which I think is the more appropriate measure, McDonald's and Starbucks and 5 others are in fact bigger than Subway.
Wow. So did you see that chart? Oh man, I wanted to see. Hold on.
Eating there. When you measure by system-wide sales, which I think is the more appropriate measure, McDonald's and Starbucks and 5.
Look at this. So Subway has the most restaurants, but Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and McDonald's all do more sales than them. And McDonald's literally does 1, 2, 3, 5 times more sales than them with less locations. So all they were doing is they were selling franchises endlessly to make the money and get the franchise fee, and they didn't care if the restaurants were successful. That's a recipe for failure.
others are in fact bigger than Subway. And that is because Subway's sales per location are abnormally low. For example, Chick-fil-A only has 1/7 as many locations, but twice as many sales. Now, Chick-fil-A is the leader of the industry, and maybe not the most fair comparison, but even compared to other similar sandwich chains,
look at
Subway
that.
is noticeably lower. All of this suggests that Subway has been more interested in having a lot of locations rather than having good, efficient, profitable locations. My next reason behind their decline is the passing of Fred DeLuca. Now, this might sound contradictory to my previous reason in some way, but I want to be clear that even though his approach toward running Subway may not have been the safest or even the smartest in some aspects, he is still the main person behind Subway. Easily one of the biggest success stories of all time. As a teenager, he took $1,000 and over the next 50 years,
that's more than $1,000, by the way.
He was known to be heavily involved with the company, sometimes even going into a restaurant wearing a disguise so he can sample the food and check up on things at the store level. In 2013, he was diagnosed with leukemia, and by 2015, control of the day-to-day operations was passed to his sister shortly before he passed away. It was a distracting time over at Subway, to say the least, where the management wasn't exactly on top of their game, and following that situation, the person who knew the company and arguably cared about it more than anyone else was no longer there to guide it. I think it is worth pointing out that the correlation is there. Subway sales started falling in 2015, right after he died. Next up on the list is disastrous campaigns. It's unfortunate, but both of the biggest ad campaigns, Jared Fogle and the $5 footlong, turned into complete disasters. For Jared, it's upsetting to even talk much about this one, but I'm guessing you already know that he is far from the inspirational role model that many people once saw him as. I'm just gonna say that in 2015, notice that year yet again, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for crimes involving minors. Now, it's not quite as severe with the $5 footlongs. I mean, I would sure hope not, but that one also turned sour. After about 4 or 5 years, they almost had to start phasing it out because it was becoming impractical to maintain that price point. Then, after things started falling in 2018, I think that they were getting desperate because they tried to force it back in a slightly different way as the $4.99 footlong. It didn't last long because they still couldn't afford to do it, and the franchisees got upset with the company over it, so it hurt the relationships there, and they were left without any of their proven campaigns to fall back on. Another reason behind the decline is a series of various scandals, and I want to be clear that from my viewpoint anyway, there's hardly any validity to any of these, but for whatever reason, every few years, there are these wild accusations being reported about the food over at Subway. For example, in 2013, a photo posted by a teenager in Australia had everyone talking about how Subway's footlongs are only 11 inches. In 2017, the new thing was that their chicken was only made of 50% chicken. In 2021, the new thing was that their tuna isn't actually tuna.
Real tuna.
Again, these are seemingly erroneous or exaggerated stories that I would say unfairly have been hurting Subway's reputation. People hear about a story like that and start going to Jimmy John's or one of the others, so you can see how this can hurt them. Finally, I'm just gonna say that the brand has become stale. In 2019, as an attempt to breathe new life into it and reverse the trends, they hired a new CEO, John Chidsey, who had previously led a turnaround plan over at Burger King. When he arrived at Subway, he was the one who used the word stale to describe their menu. It had been mostly unchanged for many years, partially because of the illness of Frank DeLuca and all the craziness surrounding that. So in July of 2021, they started their, I think cleverly named, Eat Fresh Refresh, that they call the largest menu update in Subway history. It includes
the
new
Subway
sandwiches,
series?
new ingredients, sort of a shift more towards standardized sandwiches rather than building them yourself, and it has been promoted by some of the most famous athletes like Steph Curry and Tom Brady. They invested $80 million to buy meat slicers for the restaurants.
Yes, now they cut the meat in the
before
restaurant.
it got to the restaurants, and now they do it there. They call that one of the most complex changes the brand has ever made. They've been making efforts to attract better talent at the corporate level by offering equity compensation plans and bonuses for the first time. In 2023, they were sold to a private equity firm called Rourke Capital, who also owns Jimmy John's and many other fast food restaurants. It ended their longtime run as being a family-owned business, and they say it is yet another part of their transformation journey, as they put it. So big changes have been happening over at Subway. If you haven't been there for a while, you might be shocked at how different things are, and it seems likely that they may continue to progress. And there have been some positive indicators, like the fact that their sales per location have been improving. improving. So I don't know, maybe Subway is on their way to becoming a much more stable and efficient operation. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Subway?
Well, see, here's the thing. I haven't had Subway in so long. Maybe it is better now. I mean, like, for example, someone in chat here just said the following. This was ludicrous. My second job was Subway. I was working there during the tuna change. So this is recent because the tuna thing happened in 2021. Most locations changed the quality of meats and the tuna. The dough is now sent there every week and humidity controlled till it's cooked. So what you're saying is they recognized because of the scandal, they needed to change, and they did change for the better, is what you're saying. That's cool, and that's good to hear. I just, you know, for me, whenever someone says, what's the best sandwich place? I'm like, wow, I really like Jersey Mike's. Now I like Firehouse subs. I've had Jimmy John's. They're okay. But I think Jersey Mike's and Firehouse are the best. What's the other one, too? There's a third one that I've had that is good, but I've only had them a couple times, but they were pretty good. I can't remember what they are. But Subway, again, I've had just bad experiences with them, but they used to be great. Everything there used to actually be fresh. They used to load. My mom, every Sunday, we would walk to Subway, my dad and I, to get lunch sandwiches, okay? We would walk to Subway. My mom would get tuna salad with lettuce, tomato, pickles, and American cheese. That sandwich, the footlong, I'm not kidding you, was so loaded and heavy that she ate half of it then, and she would save it and have a second meal from the footlong. That's how much they loaded them back then. Now you go there, and it's like they have a formula of how to do it. Oh, you ordered the meat. Here's 3 slices of the turkey, 3 slices of the ham. Cheese, you only get 1 slice. We cut it in half, and we put it in like this, right? Veggies, what do you want? Oh, 1 tomato slice for you. You know, it's like they're really skimpy. At least when I was going there. And then they would always be out of something you wanted. I want this particular bread. We don't have that one today. I want this. Where are your banana peppers? We don't have those anymore. Right? Like, what? So, yeah, like, it was bad. And, of course, nothing there was fresh. They didn't cut the meat or anything. It was all pre-done somewhere else. So now, I guess, what you're saying is they've changed. I mean, that's good to hear. But, like, right now, if you ask me, where do I want to get a sandwich? Subway is the last place. Maybe I would give them a shot again, knowing that they have changed. But, and the thing is, right now, there's a Subway less than a block away from me. There's a Subway at the grocery store that I go to frequently has a Subway in their lot that I see. Every time I drive by Subway, I see at maximum 1 person inside buying a sandwich. That's it. Even at lunch, I see 1 person buying a sandwich. So, I don't know if they're ever going to really turn it around, but it's just so weird to me because they were so huge and popular, and now they've just declined so hugely, you know? Okay, we only have about 15, 20 minutes left. What I'd like to do is maybe grab a few videos that I'm personally interested in. Let's see here. They played my band AI mashup in Congress. What's this? Hearing on artificial intelligence and intellectual property.
My friend and a man I actually saw in concert.
Hello, I'm not Johnny Cash.
Oh, we've heard these videos before. We've heard one of these.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Wow.
Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere.
Wow.
Oh, come on, Barbie, let's go party, 'cause I'm in a Barbie world.
I'm sure you'll
proud.
all see that again in days to come.
I am Lainey Wilson. I am a recording artist, a songwriter, and entertainer.
When these technologies do like what we saw with Johnny Cash and Barbie Girl,
Yeah.
do you think that your representatives in Congress ought to repose First Amendment speech rights
There it is, literally a First Amendment speech
on
right.
robots creating
I'm not a robot.
deepfakes and explicit videos?
It's absolutely not.
Robots should not be subject to free speech. I can't even believe I have to say that out loud. Mr. Mason.
Fair use, fair use. They chose the wrong song to make their point. For context, here's a peek at my mostly human process.
Oh,
Oh, I
Born
like
after
big
AI.
butts and I cannot lie.
Oh, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Tickle my bum with a mannequin thumb on a bongo drum.
Oh, so is he saying he sings it, and then he uses AI to change his voice to sound like the person? Well, I mean, all right, I understand what he's saying. I guess why this guy is upset is because his YouTube channel is he sings a song in his own voice, his own cadence, then he uses AI to change it to sound like the person he wants it to sound like. So he's saying, I'm not a bot, and they literally used my song in Congress as a reason to say why this should not be protected under First Amendment rights. They didn't do their research. So this is a gotcha moment. He got them. He's right. But I think the problem is the point stands that AI mostly doesn't have humans involved. It's AI doing it. And they're saying, should that be protected by the First Amendment? No. So I understand what Congress is saying. I understand what he's saying. This was just Congress using a bad example. Because the example is he did the song first and then used AI to change how it sounded. So it's kind of a gotcha. I got Congress. I get it. But I think Congress's intentions of looking at AI are well-founded. So, okay. Oh, man. I want to watch a few short videos. Like, what's really short? Here, we'll watch some Mega64. When I was younger, like a decade ago, I hated on these guys for literally no good reason. And then later on, I apologized to them on Twitter, and they actually accepted my apology, so I'm happy they did. I want to actually watch a legit video of theirs from back in the day that was very popular. Here we go.
Welcome everybody to the IRL DQ Grand Championships, where these two are going to race through the rest of their natural lives for sick children. May the best man win. 3, 2, 1, bazingo! Let's go!
He's a bazingo.
Are a college degree, marriage, owning a home, having a child, and death. Let's see who can do them all the fastest.
Hi, my name is Blue Apple Lopez. I'm 24 years old, and I can 100% Indiana Jones in under 15 hours. Today, I'm doing a speed run competition on the game of life. I'm going to be hacking the system, making the game do things you never knew it could do. Yo, what's up? I'm Tyler the Gamer. Check it out. I'm the guy who beat Matt Road in under 3 minutes. That's my record. Yo, I'm going to speedrun the rest of my life. All for the kids to get them off the drugs. It's all for charity, bro.
Round 1, college degree. Looks like Tyler's hanging around at a local graduation. But how's he gonna get a degree fast?
Steal this.
A little underhanded minute to help the charity. Meanwhile, it looks like Lopez is going for an online degree.
Who paid to go to Harvard and Yale.
A little trash talk from Blue Apple.
Fucking Yale heads.
We're moving on to the next round, marriage. Looks like Tyler's going traditional.
And join your life with hers.
I do.
Major score. Let's check in with Lopez. Well, it looks like he's going outside the box for his marriage.
What is this? Oh! Oh!
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, Daruski, you too! Yeah!
Wow, a mail order bride. That's gonna save Lopez a lot of time. Wait a second. What's Lopez doing next?
Check this out, life hack!
Wait. Is he doing what I think he's doing? He is! Flawless transition to homeowner! Lopez is clear to next round. Tyler's best hope to beat the clock is inheritance.
All right, that was good.
Mama, I inherited this house when you passed away, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Wow.
Nice! Those charities are really going to be happy about this. The next round is having a child. Looks like Lopez is trying out a controversial cloning technique. Oh, he's got some fluids there. He's got the fecal situation. Well, we better just check in with him.
What the hell?
A little bit. Meanwhile, it looks like Tyler's trying his luck, sneaking into a local hospital.
Child abduction.
Wow. I don't know if that would count.
Well, Tyler found quite the bounty. Don't forget that this entire speed run is for charity.
Right.
And this child is helping children everywhere. Looks like Tyler's done with this round and on to the final.
He just looked again.
To the finish. Can Lopez possibly catch up? Let's check back in with him and see how that clone is going. Would you look at that?
Yes,
A beautiful
he baits the
baby
clone.
I think my clone died. Does this count?
Oh, judges? It's good!
Yeah? Oh, hell yeah!
The final round is death, and it's gotta be natural. No suicide. Looks like Tyler's taking the approach of asking strangers to murder him.
Go ahead.
You what?
Please kill me.
No,
Go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
we're good.
I'm racing.
Oh, God!
Meanwhile, Lopez seems to be taking a more natural route.
Oh no! No, нет, нет!
Look at this.
Oh no, no!
We all wish him the best of luck. Let's see how Tyler's faring.
I just need you to kill me as fast as possible. Go ahead.
Would you look at that? The victory of a lifetime. Pinned and suffocated by a total stranger.
Wow.
As the first one to die, it looks like Tyler is our winner and champion. And this is just not Blue Apple's year.
Did I seriously not die?
Congratulations to the winner. Be sure to tune in for next week's challenge.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be doing the world's slowest run today. My first trick is that I start the game, and then I get up and go get a burger.
I'm a tired.
That wasn't, I mean, it wasn't hilariously funny, but at the same time, it was funny. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I do feel like I was very unfair to those guys years ago. They have some decent stuff. I thought that was funny. Let's see here. We have a few minutes left. Let's see. Some of these are just too long. I want like a short one, right? All right, let's do this in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. We need to fit like 1 or 2 videos to fit them in here.
Hey, bro, I gotta tell you something, man.
I'm not trying to lose again. Bro, every time we almost win is because of me. What are you talking about?
Bro.
You hear somebody saying bro.
Bro.
See, this is why we can't win. You keep hearing imaginary things instead of what I'm actually hearing. You can't communicate. All right, I'm trying to stop screaming, bro. I'm just like, bro, you... Oh, that's my roommate. Hold up,
I just need 1 second of your...
It's my roommate. He trying to get my attention. Every time you do that, bro, we lose, bro. Don't try to fight them without me, bro. Just pick me back up. Jesus. All right, let me see what my roommate talking about. All right, what you want, bro? My roommate just left before I even got a chance to talk to him. Man is impatient. All right, let's do the next game, bro. Come on. All right, bro. Hey, we can do this if we just communicate properly. Hey! We can do this shit, bro. I swear we can do this.
Bro, what are you doing here?
Hey, can you be quiet, bro? Just, like, keep it down. They can't hear, bro.
Bro, I'm trying to take a shit.
Bro, can you keep it down, bro? They can't hear me because of you.
Dog, what the fuck? What's wrong with this dude, man?
Come on. We got this, bro. We've been trying to do this forever, bro. Come on. What? Bro, what's that noise? What is that noise? Bro, y'all can't hear me? Oh my God, I can't hear myself.
All right, well. All right, definitely not one of his best skits. He can't hear because someone's taking a shit. Okay, I'm looking for a short clip that we can watch, bro. Come on, bro. Failed U.S. assassination attempts.
American presidents have been targeted for assassination more than 20 times in history. 4 presidents.
Well, I guess you consider Trump wasn't a president at the time of his assassination attempt. Does that count? I don't know.
Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, and JFK have been assassinated. This is a recap of the 8 failed attempts that almost succeeded. In August 1864, President Lincoln was riding in Washington, D.C. at night alone, as he often would, when an unidentified gunman fired a single rifle shot that passed through his top hat, missing him by inches. Nearly 30 years earlier, on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, an unemployed house painter named Richard Lawrence approached President Andrew Jackson and pulled a gun on him, but his weapon misfired. An enraged Jackson closed on his attacker and landed several blows with his cane, but Lawrence was still able to pull out a second pistol and pull the trigger. Incredibly, it too misfired. The Smithsonian Institute later determined that the odds of both pistols misfiring was 1 in 125,000.
Damn.
3.5 years after leaving office, Teddy Roosevelt ran for president as a member of the Progressive Party. Before a campaign speech in Milwaukee, a saloon keeper shot him once in the chest. Roosevelt's 50-page speech and an eyeglass case slowed the bullet and saved his life.
Wow.
The stubborn Roosevelt determined he hadn't been mortally wounded, he still gave the speech, speaking for 90 minutes and even showing off his bloody shirt to the crowd, declaring that
it takes more than that to kill a bull moose.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt's presidency was almost over before it began, after a gunman opened fire on him in Miami 3 weeks before he was sworn in. Roosevelt was unhurt, but 4 others were wounded, and Chicago Mayor Anton Cermak was killed. The mayor was an enemy of mobster Al Capone, and it is believed that he, and not FDR, was the target. In 1981, Ronald Reagan was walking back to his limousine in the Capitol when he
I remember
and 3
this
others
one.
were
I've
shot
seen it.
by John Hinckley Jr., who claimed afterward that he wanted to kill the president to impress then teenage actress Jodie Foster.
Hey, he's nuts.
No one died, but Press Secretary James Brady was permanently disabled and became the catalyst behind the Brady Bill, which instituted federal background checks for firearm purchasers. 3 months after President H.W. Bush handed the presidency over to Bill Clinton, 14 men believed to be working for Saddam Hussein smuggled explosives into Kuwait to assassinate him with car bombs during a visit to Kuwait University as revenge for defeating Iraq in the Gulf War. The plot was foiled when Kuwaiti officials found one of the bombs and arrested the suspected assassins.
I didn't even know about that one.
President Bill Clinton's motorcade was traveling through Manila, about to cross a bridge, when intelligence officers allegedly intercepted a message suggesting that an attack was coming. The Secret Service director ordered a reroute away from the bridge, and an intelligence team later discovered a bomb under the structure. The American government's investigation of the plot revealed that its mastermind was a Saudi terrorist living in Afghanistan named Osama bin Laden.
Oh, shit.
In 2005, George W. Bush was giving a speech in the Republic of Georgia when a man pulled the pin and threw a hand grenade that landed 61 feet from where Bush was standing. However, a red handkerchief that was used to conceal it was wrapped so tightly around it that the firing pin didn't deploy. The attacker melted back into the crowd, but was apprehended months later and confessed to the assassination attempt.
Wow.
You can read more about
I didn't know about that one either. There's some of these I've never heard of. Like the Reagan one was televised. So that one everyone knows about, but I didn't know about most of those other ones. Wow. All right, well, guys, it's been a wild week. We certainly saw some. I think the Price Master is going to stick with me. I think that the Price Master is probably the best video of the week. But thank you all. Thanks to everyone who showed up. Thanks to anyone who supported in any way. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed the show. All right. Now remember, if you want to be a part of the fun, please become a channel member at either the submissions tier, the super tier, or the ultra tier. Ultra tier, we're guaranteed to watch your video once a week for 4 weeks, so you get 4 videos basically for the price of 1 membership. So super tier, you get your video put into the submissions playlist that everyone has an equal shot to be watched, as you saw today. Plus, you get to ask me a Q&A question once a week. And if you're in submissions tier, you don't get the Q&A, you just get the video into the playlist. So thank you to everyone who supports this channel. Thanks to everyone who you know, engaged and hung out. If you watch on demand after the fact, thanks as well. I really appreciate that, and I'll see you next week for another episode for the low cost of $14,000. See you next week.